Hey everyone, Thomas here. Thanks so much for clicking onto this video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new album, Sunday at Foxwoods by Boys Like Girls. Now, this album is structured with a side A and a side B, and it does feel like two projects that are pushed together, which I absolutely adore. It starts off with what side A I call Sunday at Foxwoods, and then side B with Monday Morning. I think the intro tracks or the instrumental tracks is what kind of divides this album here. And that is how it's structured with side A and side B if you do get the physical vinyl. But I wanted to talk about my rankings and also how I feel about the album as a whole. Now, I only have listened to this album probably 4 or 5 times. One time I was really actively listening to it, trying to come up with a list on which songs I thought were better than the others. But I do have to say, throughout this whole album, there is not one flop. There is not one bad song. Even the instrumentals I really enjoy. It does, like I say, structurally divide this album, and I think it's done well. And I do think that there is a kind of a shift when it goes from side A to side B, and I think that's done in the most perfect way. There's these amazing vocals throughout, and no matter what style of song it is, whether it's a slower ballad or a 80s rock song, there's a lot of 80s inspired material here, like with The Night Game, but it also infuses a great Boys Like Girls sound. It does a great job putting that pop rock, pop punk side of things and combining it with that 80s, almost like an 80s nostalgia for me. Even though I didn't live in the 80s, I listened to a lot of 80s music growing up, so it reminds me a lot of that, as well as there's some 90s material here as well, and I'll get to that. But I do feel like structurally this song, or this album, is done extremely well. The vocals, the production, everything I really enjoy. All the layering done on some of these vocal tracks are done very well. And I think that just having Boys Like Girls back is such an amazing, feeling. And having them, this is the first album in 12 years, and just having that being said, it feels like they have grown up, and it does feel like they are structurally sound, and it's so crazy how much is the same but also is so different. So how am I going to structure this video? I think what I'm going to do now is tell you my rankings of side A, tell you my rankings of side B, and then tell you my rankings of all of them put together to let you know how I feel about each song. And like I said, there is no negative song on this album. All of them feel like positives to me, but here we go. Side A for me, like I said, structurally, starts off with Sunday at Foxwoods, and I think that this is the lowest song on side A, only because it is an instrumental, but it does go into the outside very, very well. I really love how that was fused together, and it is done extremely phenomenal. And I think that it was a great intro track to their live performance, because they actually did do that song or that instrumental when they were coming out on stage, and then played Love Drunk. Done very well. But anyway, number 7 is Sunday at Foxwoods. Number 6 is one of the singles, which I have to say, next up, is that a lot of the singles came out. I think there were 5. There was Language, The Outside, Cry, New Love, and Blood and Sugar, right? And those were all part of side A. So when you listen to the album for the first time, there were a lot of songs that you've heard already, but I think structurally it still works very well. But it would have been cool to have more newer songs throughout, side A. But I see why they did it. It has, similar sounds, but, with all of side A. But anyway, number 6 is Language. This song was one of the singles, and it is very upbeat and fun. And na na na, now you're like it's very singable and very fun. Number 5 for me is Blood and Sugar. This was the first single that they released, and it was a perfect first single. It was mind-boggling how good this first single was, and it's crazy that there's better because this song, it's so good. For me, number 4 is New Love. I really enjoy the way that it's a slower verse, and then it goes to like a like this 80s style chorus, but also like it's almost like dance vibe. If that makes sense. It's done super well, and I really enjoy the lyrics of this one. Number 3 for me is Cry. Cry is super emotional, and I really enjoy the falsetto here, the way that it slowly picks up to this big instrumental bridge and then goes back to that chorus, and it's so beautifully done. Number 2 for me, for side A, is Miracle. This is a song that they performed live, but they didn't release it until now, and I really love this. I love it just feels so good. I enjoy the lyrics. I enjoy the really what I enjoyed about it was that I listened to it for the first time live, and it just felt so good, and the studio version feels just as good. But number 1 for me for side A is The Outside. The Outside was one of those singles, and they have made a version with state champs, the Summer Set, the Ready Set, and 303, and I really enjoy that version as well. But that one's not on the official album. But this number 1 is obviously for me The Outside on side A, Sunday at Foxwoods. Now I'm going to go to side B, which is, for me, I'm titling it Monday Morning. I don't know if side A and side B actually have names, but it just feels structurally right. But number 6 for me is Monday Morning. It's an instrumental track, but it has like news sounding, a lot of commotion in the background, but then there's also like some Boys Like Girls interviews there. I couldn't really tell exactly what was going on there, but it did sound like there was some crowd cheering and talking about, I heard 1984 there, and it sounded like there was an interview process going on, and it was super like echoey. But I thought this was a great transition to physical. It does it the same way that Sunday at Foxwoods does to The Outside, Monday Morning does to physical, where it just continuously goes to the next song. Number 5 for me is Hourglass. It reminds me a lot of a Phil Collins song, like it would be on Tarzan, but also it has like a John Bellion vibe as well. Those are the 2 things that really hit me when I heard this song. The beginning really reminded me of a John Bellion song, even the way that he sings his vocals, and I think the vocals are amazing in this song. The falsetto is great. The musical guitar bridge in this song, there's a guitar solo done super well, but I do feel like it has like that Tarzan vibe, and it's so cool to me. Number 4 is Brooklyn State of Mind. I really like the speaking lyrics of this song, and the lyrics have all the right friends in all the wrong places. Just it feels cool because he had so many people in different places, and it's the way that this is sang, the way that it's performed is done well. Like I said before, the mixing and the mastering is done amazing in this album. The drums hit really hard. The vocals are crisp. It's such a good time. Story of a Lifetime is number 3. The drums sound like Heavy Dirty Soul from 21 Pilots at the beginning. If you're a 21 Pilots fan, you know Heavy Dirty Soul, and it has that, electric drum sound. This song does that exact same thing, and it has that drum sound. It almost sounds exactly the same, and it's done in the most perfect way. I really enjoy this song. It's my number 3. And when I keep saying I really enjoy the song, I do. I enjoy every song off of this album. It's ridiculous. But anyway, Physical is very 80s inspired. It has like an 80s pop feel, and it has a whole bunch of different layerings and sound effects like it was an 80s song. It's done extremely well. So much that it is my number 2 for side B. Done well. But my number 1, without a doubt, for side B is Lost in Wonderland. The way that this album ends is done so well. I like the way that Keep Rolling In and Find a Friend is sung in this song. Just the way that it rolls. It feels so good. The speaking vocals here are beautiful. It's like he's really telling a story and talking to someone. And it's talking about like being on tour and being gone and not being able to see their friend enough, or calling them, or being there specifically for them and kind of feeling bad about it. But hopefully I'll see you, in Brooklyn or in France or wherever I am. Hopefully you could be there too. And it's so beautifully done. And I want to go back real quick on side A. When Cry was released for as a single or whatever, or as a promotional single, whatever, it reminded me of the ending of an album. It reminded me of like Go, or the ending songs of a Boys Like Girls song, or Boys Like Girl album, where it has the that slower emotional thing. And it is, in a sense, because side A, I feel like, is a different album than side B is. But it also forms very well together, if that makes any sense. So Cry being the ending song of side A is amazing. But having Lost in Wonderland being the ending of side B, it's at another level. I really, really enjoy this song. So now I'm going to rank all 13 songs, and I hope this structure was cool for you, but here we go. Number 13, Monday Morning. Monday Morning, I do feel like, is the lowest song on here. Not bad, but without having any lyrics, and it being shorter, it does, one of the songs has to be on the bottom, right? Number 12 is Sunday at Foxwoods. The same thing there, but I do like how both of these songs go into the next song. Done super well. So, number 11 for me is Hourglass. Number 10 is Brooklyn State of Mind. Number 9 is Language. Number 8 is Story of a Lifetime. Number 7 is Blood and Sugar. Number 6, Physical. Number 5, New Love. Number 4, Cry. Number 3, Miracle. Number 2, Lost in Wonderland. And number 1, The Outside. I do think that there's a great mix of songs here for this album. And it does, I don't think that all of it was forward heavy. I don't think it was all back heavy. It was done in a way that felt like it merges almost like a zipper, having these songs being listed here, and it's so cool, because at first I was kind of worried, all the good songs are going to be at the beginning, but no, the songs just keep going, and they're done so well. And yes, I do feel like, side A does have a little bit more on the top, on the top 5, because it does New Love, Cry, Miracle, and The Outside, but I've only listened to these a few times, right? And Lost in Wonderland is way up there for me already. And Physical being at number 6, it's just, it's done super well for me. And as I continuously listen to this album, I'll be able to give a better, more, structured opinion. But I think so far, this is a great list, great ranking, and I will personally give this album a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely love it. I really like it a lot. It's so good. It's really good, and I hope that you give it a chance. If you haven't listened to it yet, you need to. It is amazing. Thank you so much. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do end up liking it. If not, please put in the comments below why you didn't. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to click that subscribe button if you like this video, like past videos, and want to see more in the future. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.